Ooh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL to WBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, not 2020. We are back today with more of the Invasion series, Season 2 of the Invasion, aka the Brand Era. We are in Week 2 of June of 2002, booking our way towards SummerSlam, the Raw exclusive pay-per-view. No longer one of the big four pay-per-views. SummerSlam has been demoted, I guess you can say, but with good cause, with good cause. Of course, Nitro has their own summer-themed pay-per-view, being Bash at the Beach. That'll happen in August. So it's only fair that WWE has their own summer-themed pay-per-view as well with SummerSlam. So that's the kind of the way we think about that. SummerSlam's been demoted from the Big Four. King of the Ring has been promoted. That'll take place in between SummerSlam and Bash at the Beach. So that'll be in July. And of course, the winner of the King of the Ring will go on to face the brand champion, I guess, that they're a part of at the Royal Rumble. I don't know why I even went on to explain that. Either way, we are booking our way towards SummerSlam. Tonight, we are booking Monday Night Raw, which has implications for SummerSlam, to say the least. We are week 2, so we only got 2 weeks away for this, so things are going to start heating up. Let's just get started, shan't we? Oh, you know what? Actually, I have some huge news to share with y'all before we actually press this button. It has something to do with this game. It's gonna be in the notepad, but I'm just gonna say it right now. There's the reason why the name of the title is all grown up, and freaking Stephanie McMahon is on the thumbnail, and it's not because she plays a big part in this video. It's actually because something crazy happened. So before the show happened, I believe, I want to say Kevin Nash. It was one of the Click members, but I'm pretty sure it was Kevin Nash. He did something. I don't remember what it was, and I punished him for it. And everybody in the clique ended up getting upset with that. Of course, we already know my backstage has been a problem ever since I made the stupid mistake of drug testing all the superstars after WrestleMania. I mean, I don't know. I guess in reality that wouldn't be such a bad thing, but it definitely hit my morale in the backstage locker room. So I guess what wasn't hurting anyone really shouldn't have been focused on, but that's neither here nor there. We just got to go with the punches as is. But anyway, long story short here, with the backstage rating being below, I believe, 50%, I decided to do a hardline stance. Now, a hardline stance, there's, real quick, without, I guess, spoiling anything from the show, so those of you who want to take a peek at the show and get a spoil, go for it, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of look at something. Now, some of this may not even matter because Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 is now out. But, and I don't even think I can open this anymore, so that was stupid. But anyway, so this might not even matter because Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 is out. But when it pertains to 2016, there's like locker room things you can do where you can kind of like rib talent, and that can either have a negative or a positive effect depending on how the superstar takes it. You can meddle in superstars' relationships, whether it's negative or positive, and try to make it a positive relationship or a negative relationship, and that can also have positive or negative implications, so on and so forth. And there's something called a hardline stance when your backstage is so low, I believe it's lower than 50%, that you can pretty much have a meeting with all the superstars and you can tell them, hey, look, it's my way or the highway. I'm not going to budge. If you want to leave, the door's there. But, yeah, there you go. My way or the highway kind of thing. And it gives a chance for anyone who is actually upset enough to leave the company. And a lot of times that actually doesn't happen. I don't think I've had many. I mean, in my little TNA test playthrough that I've been doing on the side to figure out kind of where I want to do with TNA when we do the series for that, I've had a lot of superstars kind of walk out for that reason, but not here in the WWE. So we actually had our first superstar walk out of the company, and I know I've taken a long time to get to this, and I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about, but I did the hardline stance, and our own freaking daughter, Stephanie McMahon, walked out of the company. She said, "You know what, Dad? I'm out of here. I'm not taking this anymore." So Stephanie's out here. I can always come up with a storyline reason. Of course, it's easy because of the whole restraining order thing, so it's not too bad. I'm not too concerned about it. In fact, I'm kind of excited about it. I think you guys will like this idea. I want your guys' opinion on it. I'm not going to do it if you guys don't like the idea, but I kind of like the idea. So with WCW now being closed, and with Ring of Honor and TNA and a lot of companies kind of coming up, I was thinking, what if we had Stephanie open her own company, make it a cult company or whatnot, give it pretty decent popularity because it is Stephanie McMahon, and I don't know, maybe Triple H jumps and goes over there, but his contract isn't up yet. Maybe we look at his contract. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think we should do with that. Should we even let Stephanie open her own company? And if we do, what do we even name the damn thing? Although, I mean, it's crazy that Stephanie's even out of the company. It's kind of like in our alternate world here, Shane McMahon has stayed with the company and is now probably the heir to the throne, and maybe his wife comes in now and she's the new Triple H or whatnot, or I don't know. But anyway, it's like Stephanie has taken Shane McMahon's role and now's gone off. Maybe she opens her own wrestling company. Maybe she does what Shane does, and I don't know, whatever Shane did outside of the WWE, I'm not entirely sure. But maybe she does something like that, and we just let her be. But you guys let me know what we should do with Stephanie, if we do anything at all. Now that long tangent is done and over with, let's just go ahead. Let's book the show here. And we open up with a couple of pre-show matches here. We have a solid 42D to open up, and a pre-show bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. The Dojo, the team of Tajiri and Hayashi, a little bit of a pet project here on the channel of where we're going to have kind of Steve Blackman open his own dojo, and Tajiri and Hayashi are like his top students or whatnot. So that's kind of the theme with them. Anyway, they go against the Briscoe brothers, well-known Ring of Honor team, very loyal to Ring of Honor, kind of to the detriment of their careers, because that is, we haven't gotten to see them in the likes of WWE or even Impact Wrestling. They've appeared in New Japan Wrestling, and with AEW now opening the doors, per se, with like teaming up with Impact and maybe even New Japan in the future. Who knows? Maybe they team with Ring of Honor, and the Briscoes can get on, bigger TV and maybe more eyes on them as well. But the Briscoe brothers, great tag team. Probably one of the better teams to, if not the best team to never, get their shot in the big company. Not by their choice, though. They're kind of like Sting in a way, where they made the decision to stick to Ring of Honor. They're very loyal to Ring of Honor, from what I understand. At least that's what it always says in TEW as well. But anyway, they're not loyal to Ring of Honor yet, so who knows? I mean, they actually put on a pretty decent match here tonight against the Dojo, who aren't popular themselves, so maybe the Briscoe brothers are someone we look at in I mean, we're not playing as TNA right now, or the TNA save is going to be separate, I should say, from the WWE save. So maybe we hire the Briscoe brothers as developmental talent. I don't know. I'm thinking about it though. It's pretty promising. I mean, I don't even know if they've had any matches yet. Mark Briscoe with an in-ring performance of a 30. I'd like to see what their popularity is, because that's pretty decent considering they might not have like any popularity. Mark Briscoe with a 30 in-ring performance, and Jay Briscoe with a 26. Hayashi with a 51, the best performer of the match. Tajiri with a 48. Jay Briscoe improving in his performance skills well. Jay Briscoe making the most of his appearance here tonight. We then go, wow, okay now. Xavier here, we'll get to him in a minute, but look at Xavier. He's another one of those guys that, anyway, 56C minus rating here in a terrible pre-show matchup. Shannon Moore defeating Xavier in 8 minutes, 13 seconds with the Halo. As I was about to say before, Xavier, another one of those Ring of Honor guys. In fact, I believe Xavier actually just passed away, I think, not too long ago. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, He also might be the very first ever Ring of Honor World Champion now that I think about it. I also might be wrong about that too. Don't quote me. Anyway, Xavier kind of pulling out a really wow. I don't know Xavier, his popularity or how he is, if he's had any matches in the Save or not, but similar to the Briscoes, he's got a lot of promise here and what could be his first match, if not, his first, definitely handful of matches. So Xavier might be another guy we have to look at here. A little promise behind him. 42 in-ring performance for Xavier. Shannon Moore with a 56 in-ring performance. And no worker improvements in this match. And then the main event of the pre-show gets a 71B minus rating here. And a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling but not much weigh in heat. Bradshaw and the Angles, Kurt and Eric, defeat the Right 2 Censors, Steven Richards, Russ, and Charlie Haas in 12 minutes 4 seconds after Bradshaw defeated Steven Richards with the clothesline from hell. Of course, Eric Angle was the weak link, and it looks like Kurt Angle was the strong link, I guess is what we would call that. Eric was really off his game. Come on, what the hell is that, Eric? Not only are you the weak link, but you're off your game. Announcing quality help, blah, blah, blah. Kurt Angle shown in the match. Charlie Haas with an in-ring performance of a 60. Russ Haas with a 59. Steven Richards with a 54. Well, the Haas brothers are kind of pulling away from Richards here, it would seem. Eric Angle with a 43. Kurt Angle with an 89. And Bradshaw with a 75. And Russ Haas improving in his performance, as is Eric. Okay, at least Eric's improving in the performance. We like to see that. Why did I leave my water bottle all the way over there? Alright, I'm going to step up and go grab my water bottle real quick. Because I'm going to need it. Because we got Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan on the show. And we all know that's disaster waiting to happen, so. Oh, that's good. Alright. Moving on to the next segment. We open up Monday Night Raw with an 87B plus rating as Goldberg makes his way down to the ring. Before, of course, entering the ring, Goldberg with a smile upon his face goes underneath the, I guess, throws the apron up. I don't know what you would call that. Either way, Goldberg pulling weapons out from underneath the ring. If you remember last week, Goldberg returned after being challenged by Rhino and, of course, I guess, taken out by Rhino via foreign objects and steel weapons and whatnot. And he challenged Goldberg to an Extreme Rules match, and Goldberg returned and accepted. And I guess that is why he is tossing all these weapons in the ring to send a message to the man-beast Rhino. Goldberg steps into the ring, takes to the mic. "Oh, Rhino! Bet you thought you were done with me, huh? You look like you saw a ghost last week. Well, that was before I did put your ass down. You know, Rhino, I don't know if it was clear enough already, but if you think for one moment," well, this Goldberg accent kind of kills me too, "that I'm afraid to get extreme, or that would be enough to make me stay at home, then let me give you the bad news first. Because I'm back, baby. And here's the good news, Rhino. Your little challenge, your Extreme Rules match, well, I accept. So come SummerSlam, Rhino." But Goldberg is cut off before he can continue on with what he was going to say, and he's interrupted by the arrival of Gregory Helms. Oh, this should be interesting. "You know, that's even if you make it to SummerSlam, Goldberg. You know something, Goldberg? Ever since you returned, that's all I can hear about. You weren't even gone all that long. I was out for over a year. And ain't nobody roll out the red carpet for me. So, you know, the ways I see it, is the only way to get people talking about me is to put your ass back in the ER. Ho, ho, ho. Don't you laugh at me. slaps Goldberg right across the face. That's a death sentence. And unfortunately, I didn't actually complete this in the notepad. So I pre-recorded this one time beforehand, and there was just a lot of things I messed up on. That Eric Angle took the place of Eric Bischoff in certain angles. Trish Stratus was replaced by Triple H in one angle. I just had to do it. But anyway, like I mentioned here, Nash got in a fight. It was with Howard Finkel. We ended up finding him, and that's what got the Click all mad. And then Stephanie decided to walk out when we took a hardline stance. Either way, Gregory Helms slaps Goldberg across the face. He looks him in the eyes and he says, "Do I look like I'm joking?" Goldberg, all he can do is he smile across his face, laughing. "You know what, Gregory? Nah. I don't think you're joking. You know what? I'm gonna give you a chance tonight, okay? Because whether you like it or not, Helms, you're next." And that's going to start our impromptu matchup here between Goldberg and Gregory Helms. I'm not sure what Gregory is thinking. I guess he's going to try to make a name for himself here at the expense of Goldberg. I don't think he can do it, but I mean, crazier things have happened, right? This did get the crowd hotter, show off to a strong start. Always like to see that. Goldberg was a real star in this segment. Helms looked dreadful, but I mean, he doesn't have a lot of popularity on his end, so that's understandable. Did gain heat for the storyline, though. Oh, look at Gregory. Moving on to the next segment is the matchup itself. 78 solid B rating here, and a decent matchup. Wow. Decent matchup. Goldberg defeats Gregory Helms in 7 minutes 52 seconds. Was there any question? After beating him with the spear. Of course, Gregory has great chemistry with Molly Holly when being managed by him. That is why they are together. Goldberg looked good out there. Gregory had an in-ring performance of a 52. Goldberg with a friggin' 96. Good lord. No worker improvements, though. So 78 solid B rating for that. We move on to our next segment here. 79 solid B rating as we are backstage in Mr. McMahon's office along with Eric Bischoff and, of course, the big man himself, Mr. McMahon. They are having a discussion until, of course, the big red machine, Kane, arrives. "There he is. We were just talking about you." "Look, we wanted to, thank you for your assistance in dealing with The Undertaker." "My assistance? Look, let me make one thing clear to the both of you, okay? I didn't do what I did for you. It's because of you, Mr. McMahon, that my brother has returned to his demonic state. And if you think that my brother is finished with you, then you're wrong. This is far from over. Believe me, you don't think I know all this? Which is exactly why I need you on our side, Kane. I can't change the past, but we can change the future." Which is why tonight, we're giving you your rematch at the Intercontinental Championship. It was your brother, the Dead Man, who cost you the championship, so it's only fair that we make things right. Yeah, well, you want to make things right? Then you'll make that championship match a no disqualification match. Okay, I can do that. I just don't know why you would want me to do that. I mean, Raven has his flock with him at all times. The Undertaker can just interfere again. Why would you want to do that? 2 reasons. 1, that way Raven can't screw me out of the title by getting himself disqualified. Like you said, he's got his flock. They can get in there. I don't get my title back. I'll take my chances. And 2, I've actually never had a barbecued Raven before. And with SummerSlam coming up, I thought now would be the perfect time. Am I wrong? I can't get disqualified. if I want to be champion and have a good feast. All right. Yeah. Okay. Consider it done, Kane. Thank you. Thank you again. And it looks like we are going to have an Intercontinental Championship match here tonight. Kane gets his rematch. A little bit weird. I hope he's not serious about lighting Kane or Raven on fire, but I don't know. We've seen weirder things. But anyway, Kane gets his championship match here tonight as looks like the two bosses, Mr. McMahon and Mr. Bischoff, are trying to butter him up. This angle got the crowd hotter. Kane looked good, gained heat for the storyline. All in all, good stuff. Moving on to our next segment, we have an 80 solid B rating here as we send it back to Jonathan Coachman. Joining me at this time is Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam. Rob, in just a few minutes, you'll be challenging Matt Hardy for the Hardcore Championship. And after what Matt did to your friend Sabu last week, I think it's safe to say that you're thankful that this is a Hardcore Championship match and there's no disqualification in those matches. You can say that again, Coach. You know, I don't know what snapped in Matt's brain, but first he takes out his brother, and now my best friend. You know, I'm usually a pretty chill guy, but that's not gonna slide with me. If Matt wants to take it to the extreme, then I've got no problem going there either, dude. One thing's for certain, though, Coach. Tonight, Matt Hardy's gonna pay for what he did to Sabu. Well, you heard it from him himself. Back to you guys. Thanks, Coach. All right, moving on to the next segment here. I'm going to take a quick drink of the water here as we get a little bit of a hype segment here. 76 B- rating, just hyping up that indeed later on tonight. The Intercontinental Championship will be on the line as Raven will defend against Kane in a no disqualification match. And speaking of no disqualifications, the Hardcore Championship is on the line next as Matt Hardy defends against Rob Van Dam. Oh, that's good stuff. Coming back from our commercial break, we start off with a solid 80B rating here as before the match begins and RVD stands in the ring ready for action. Matt Hardy takes to the mic during his entrance. Look at you pacing back and forth. Remember a while back when I told you to leave me and my brother alone? But you insisted that you two were friends. You got in my brother's head. You turned Jeff against me. You tried to ruin my life, Rob. So I'm going to ruin yours. I took out Jeff. I took out Sabu. And now, you've walked right in my trap. The Hardcore Championship on the line, and I have an excuse to do anything I want to you. No disqualifications. I could kill you if I want. No one to save you tonight, Rob. Tonight, I take you out. And then Matt Hardy slides in the ring, the bell rings, and the Hardcore Championship is on the line. Match itself gets a 76 B- rating here. And a decent matchup. Matt Hardy retains the championship by defeating Rob Van Dam in 18 minutes, 28 seconds by pinfall with a twist of fate. I'd imagine like right on like the edge of the folding chair. Like, you know, I hope you guys know what I mean. Like the actual top of it, but I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, of course, Shannon Moore getting involved in this match. Matt Hardy's new flunky. Helping, maybe even RVD was ready to win. Set up for the 5-star frog splash. Shannon gives him a push, and RVD goes down. Maybe takes out Shannon Moore because of that. Then Matt Hardy takes advantage, hits the twist of fate or twist of hate, as we might rename it, like old TNA Jeff Hardy days, and retains the Hardcore Championship after a hard-fought bout here tonight. I did make this a mayhem match just to kind of test the waters, see how it does. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore because it seems like it didn't go over too well. RVD was held back. The overbooking didn't really sit well with the crowd. So maybe not the best way to do things. Anyway, this did get the crowd buzzing, so that's a plus. Rob Van Dam had an in-ring performance of an 80. Matt Hardy with a 71. And no worker improvements. Okay, we move on to the next segment, which gets a 76 B- rating. After the match, Matt grows a smile across his face as the wheels begin to turn, and he begins to bark orders at Shannon Moore to go out and grab something from underneath the ring. Shannon, of course, obliges, slides out, grabs something, gets back in the ring, and that is revealed to be a canister of gasoline. Matt Hardy is going to burn Rob Van Dam here tonight. Matt Hardy begins to pour some of the gasoline all over Rob Van Dam, but before he can light a match and set RVD ablaze, his old theme music hit, and out comes his brother. Jeff Hardy returns. Jeff rushes down to the ring. Matt Hardy wants none of that, pushes Shannon Moore right into Jeff Hardy, slides out of the ring, runs away through the crowd. Of course, Jeff Hardy hits the twist of fate on the Shannon Moore. Shannon Moore pays for it, and Jeff Hardy decides to check on RVD while watching Matt Hardy flee through the crowd and jaw-jacking with him, pretty much saying, come on back, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. Some of that stuff. Shannon Moore underperformed here, but that's fine. He's just trying to gain that popularity. Rob Van Dam, his performance was good, selling, and no worker improvements. What is this changes? Oh, I guess we're doing a gimmick change. Sure. Hey, you got a very good rating. Good stuff. All right. We move on to our next segment, which gets an 83 B+ rating. Eric and Kurt Angle are backstage, kind of just chit-chatting, maybe planning for the future tag team title run that they have planned. And they are approached by Hulk Hogan and Bradshaw. Hope I'm not interrupting anything. Holy... Kurt! Hulk Hogan! Kurt, it's Hulk Hogan! Oh my god, no, you're not interrupting anything. It's an honor, sir. Calm down, Eric. Sorry about that, Hulk. It's alright, brother. Look, I just wanted to thank you two for having our backs last week. Although I'm afraid all you've done is now found yourselves caught up in our problems. And for that, I wanted to say that since you had our backs, we've got yours, Jack. Excuse me. Fucking Hulk Hogan. Okay. Look, Hulk. Don't mention it, okay? I'm sure Bradshaw can relate. But we've already fought off one invasion. And damn well not gonna sit by and let Triple H, of all people, start another one. So you can count on us. Glad to hear it, brother. And Kurt, Hulk Hogan, shake hands, and it seems like we've got an alliance brewing here, everybody. Hulk Hogan, Bradshaw, Kurt Angle, and Eric Angle. They're going to be the guys to step up to the clique. And as of right now, it looks like Hulk Hogan's up one member to Triple H's 3. But Eric Angle's might be more of a mascot, if anything. Hulk Hogan improvised well. Kurt Angle did a masterful job with his improvising interactions with the crowd. Of course, Eric Angle was terrible with no script to follow. His dialogue was a mess, but that's okay. Hulk Hogan was good. Kurt Angle came out looking excellent. Eric Angle did not come out of this looking good. Did gain heat for the brotherly love storyline, though, so you love to see that. No worker improvements. As we move on to our next segment. Jeff Hardy was not supposed to be on screen for that, but whatever. 78 solid B rating, as this is just hyping up, confirming that next week the Hardcore Championship will be on the line once again, and it'll be brother versus brother, Jeff versus Matt Hardy next week. Ignore that Jeff Hardy's on the screen. Speaking of Matt Hardy, his girlfriend Lita, you gotta be curious what's going on through her head. 66C+ as her and Lufisto are walking backstage, walking towards the ring. Despite all the chaos going on with the Hardy Boys, she seems happy, big smile on her face. Lufisto, of course, seems a little hesitant. 63 solid C rating as we are back from commercial break. Lita's music hits, and as she makes her way towards the ring, a video plays highlighting her victory from last week in tag team action over Jazz and Jacqueline. Once in the ring, Lita takes to the mic. Oh, I'm so glad that they decided to show you that, because that's actually why I'm out here tonight. It's funny. Last week we had this whole discussion on who should be the #1 contender for the Women's Championship. And to think, I was actually on the side of Jacqueline last week. I mean, she did win the number one contendership, don't get me wrong. But then I got to thinking and I started wondering, what if maybe, just maybe, if Jazz was right? I mean, she did pin Trish. Maybe she should be the number one contender. Or, I don't know. I did beat both Jazz and Jacqueline last week. So maybe, I should be the number one contender. That doesn't go on for long, though, because Jacqueline doesn't even let her music play. She comes out, microphone in hand. No way. I know you ain't out here trying to steal my title shot. Didn't we already have this discussion last week? Or am I going to have to beat it into you? Of course, Jazz was by Jacqueline's side, so she's out there. She steps up and says, why? You afraid she might have a point? Okay, we got to pull up the handy-dandy notepad, I assume, here, because it doesn't seem like this is going on anymore. Oh, I know you're not about to start this up again, too, are you? I'm just saying, Jackie, if you were champion, all these losses would be piling up, and you'd have a lot of challenges lining up. And that's when the three of them, Lita, Jazz, Jacqueline, they just all begin to jaw-jack and argue about why they feel they should be the rightful number one contender, until they are interrupted by the arrival of the WWE Women's Champion, Trish Stratus. Alright, look, I've heard enough. All three of you have your arguments, and while we could easily settle this with some stupid triple threat match, with whoever the winner being to face me at SummerSlam. But I've got a better idea. I want to shut all three of you up, and I don't want to do it one at a time. So here's my challenge. How about at SummerSlam, we have Trish Stratus versus Jacqueline, Trish Stratus versus Jazz, and Trish Stratus versus Lita in a fatal four-way for the Women's Championship. Does that sound fair to you girls? Lita, of course, yeah, whatever, works for me. And doesn't seem like Jazz has much of an issue with it. Yeah, whatever, I'm in. Of course, Jackie, on the other hand, well, of course, you two are in. You just don't want to face me one-on-one. And that goes for you too, Miss Trish. You afraid if you fight me one-on-one, I'll take that title from you. Oh, trust me, sweetie, it has nothing to do with that. In fact, how about next week, you versus me, Trish Stratus versus Jacqueline with the title on the line. And then whoever wins goes into SummerSlam as the Women's Championship to defend it in the Fatal 4-Way. Does that settle it? Oh, next week, you're going to give me my title shot as long as I accept this stupid Fatal 4-Way match. Whatever. You on, then. And there it is. It's confirmed. Next week, the Women's Championship will be on the line. It'll be Jacqueline versus Trish Stratus, and the winner will be the female to walk in the SummerSlam as the Women's Champion to defend it against Lita, Jazz, or, depending on who is the winner next week, Jacqueline or Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus looked good, gained heat for both the storylines here. All in all, good stuff. No worker improvements, though. 73 B- rating as we are now backstage. This might be in between commercial breaks. Not too sure. Either way, Trish Stratus is... You know what? No, not between commercial breaks. I'd like to imagine this is just Trish Stratus walking right through the curtains, and Mark Jindrak is right there as kind of a creep little move. Trish, I couldn't help but notice that you are a lady that everybody seems to want a piece of. Is it too late to make that 4-way a 5-way? Or maybe I can get a one-on-one match. Ew, gross. Oh, come on, baby. You can't resist perfection. Hey! As Albert walks up, coming in from the camera. Is he bothering you, Trish? No, it's fine, Al. He was just leaving. Yeah, Al. I've got a match anyway. Hope you'll be watching. He blows Trish a kiss. As he walks away, Albert now turns to Trish Stratus. Hey, you let me know if that guy gives you any problems, okay? He's a real creep. Yeah. Al, look out! And Mark Jindrak attacks Albert from behind, jumping him and taking him out in the process, leaving Trish to check on him as she calls for help. And Mark Jindrak and Bobby Heenan walk away as Mark Jindrak is set for action, I believe, next. Gained some heat for the storyline here between Albert and Mark Jindrak, and of course, Mark Jindrak and Bobby Heenan are a good pairing and work well with each other. We move on to our next segment here, just a generic little segment. I don't have too much of an idea. I guess maybe I should try to think of some storyline ideas here, but I guess the basic idea behind these dojo segments here is to highlight the friction between Hayashi and Tajiri. So Steve Blackman is like the manager of the group in a way. He still wrestles, but he's the manager of them, but he's also their sensei and whatever, stuff like that. And Tajiri is a little bit of a goofball. Hayashi, more of a serious guy. And Tajiri, kind of think of like the Iron Fist storylines and stuff like that. Tajiri, bit of a goofball, but kind of the better pupil here. Hayashi, more serious, and it angers him that Tajiri is better than him, kind of deal. So that's just kind of what we're highlighting here with the dojo segments as we prepare to get them ready to debut on the main roster. 47, solid D rating for that. No worker improvements as we move on to our next segment here. It is the match between Val Venus and Mark Jindrak. 71 B- rating here in a decent matchup. Mark Jindrak defeats Val Venus in 7 minutes 49 seconds when Val Venus was disqualified after Albert ran in and attacked Mark Jindrak. So Albert not taking anything lying down here. Not going to wait for Mark Jindrak to finish his match. In fact, going to kind of, well, I guess he didn't cost Mark Jindrak the match because technically he's the reason he won. But he's not going to let him get a victory fairly. Nonetheless, though, the match ends by disqualification. Tracy Brooklyn doing some good work from ringside. Mark Jindrak and Bobby Heenan are a good pairing. They play off each other well. We already know that. I don't know why I just read that. Val Venus with an in-ring performance of a 49. Mark Jindrak with a 69. Gained even more heat for the Reflection of Perfection storyline. That's good stuff. We then move on to the next segment. 70 B+ rating. Just another little generic segment that I can explain on my own. Albert and Mark Jindrak are brawling, of course, outside, a little bit of a fight going on. Of course, they are separated. Trish Stratus is able to pull Mark Jindrak off, and I imagine, or excuse me, not Mark Jindrak, Albert off, and I'd imagine that Bobby Heenan is able to get Jindrak off as well. 70 C+ rating. Jindrak is getting better at his gimmick, and him and Bobby Heenan are a good pairing, and they play off each other well. Good stuff. Gained heat for the storyline even more. It's weird because I feel like the segments are going down, but the storyline is getting better. Anyway, we move on to our next segment, which is a 75 B- rating here as we are backstage with the Dudley Boys who are packing up for the night. I guess they didn't have a match, so I don't know why. Maybe I should have put them on the pre-show. But anyway, they're packing up for the night when Devon he reaches into his bag and he finds a letter in his bag. And brother walks in. Hey, my brother, you ready to head out? Huh? Yeah. Hey, what's that? Letter from home. Letter from home? Everything okay? I'm not sure, Bubba. Not sure. Seems like something's going on with Dad in the church. I'm gonna have to fly in and check it out, make sure everything's okay. Seems pretty serious. You want me to come with? Nah, man. Look, I appreciate it, I really do, but I'll be okay. It'll be okay. Something I gotta do, But I appreciate it, bud. I appreciate it. All right, man. That's all. All right. Well, let's go, man. Yeah. I'll catch up. So, Devon getting a letter from home. I don't know. He said something about the church back at home and something's wrong with his dad. He's got to fly back, so I don't know. Hopefully everything's okay with that, but it seemed kind of serious. But either way, I guess we'll have to check in on that next week or something. As we jump to our next segment, 66 C+ rating. Backstage in the medical room, Gregory Helms, of course, is getting checked on after he made the stupid decision to go up against Goldberg, of all people. That's when Val Venus barges in on him and walks up to Gregory. Oh, you hurting, Greg? Maybe you should have thought about that before calling out Goldberg, you moron. You know what else you should have thought about? should have thought about before you went through with it, taking out my partner. Because of you, the Godfather is out for the time being. Yeah? And why should I care? And that's when Val Venus picks Helms off the off up the table or the gurney or whatever the hell it is, pulls him up off of it, slams him up against the wall, because come next week, whether you're 100% or not, you got me in the ring. And the one good thing to come out of your actions is you lit a fire in me. I've been complacent, but next week, you'll get all of the Big Valboski. Rest up, Greg. I'll see you next week. All right, well, another match confirmed for next week. Whether Gregory Helms is 100% or not, Val Venus wants revenge. Gregory Helms took out his partner, took out his friend, the Godfather, and Val Venus ain't going to let him get away with it. Oh, that's good stuff. And, of course, Tracy helping Val during the segment. All in all, good stuff. Helped the storyline out as well. No worker improvements. We move on to our next segment here. 79, solid B rating. As backstage, Kurt and Eric Angle. The Angles are found knocked out backstage. We have no idea who did it. We all know it was the Clique, let's be honest. But I don't know. The Angles are just laying unconscious backstage. Huh. Well, Hulk Hogan and Bradshaw seem concerned. I mean, we just saw them kind of forming alliance here tonight, but either way, Hogan and Bradshaw were the ones to find Kurt and Eric knocked out backstage and calling for help. We don't really know who did this or what. We assume it's the Clique, but I mean, no cameras. We'll have to just wait and see, but it has to be. I mean, the Clique haven't been spotted in the arena tonight, but it just has to be. No worker improvements, though. We move on to our next segment here, the main event of the evening. 79 solid B rating. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line, and a good match. Raven defeats and retains the Intercontinental Championship over Kane in 13 minutes 14 seconds by pinfall with the Raven effect, following interference from, you guessed it, The Undertaker. Of course, a lot of interference in this match. I mean, Kane thought maybe the no disqualification would help him, and I can kind of see his point, but I mean, now that I think about it, Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff could have made it so that if Raven got disqualified, the title changed hands, but I don't know, maybe Kane felt like he had something to prove here tonight, so he paid for it. I mean, Vampiro, Boss Man, Perry Saturn, I'm sure Daphne got involved as well, and finally, the lights go out, The Undertaker gets in there, Kane goes after his brother, of course. Maybe the lights go back out and his brother's no longer there. Instead, it's Ravens, got him in the Raven effect, right down, I don't know, maybe on a chair, maybe onto something crazy. Leave it up to your imagination. Either way, Raven retains the Intercontinental Championship. Raven getting better at his gimmick. Boss Man still hinting at that face turn, but that's fine. Kane with an in-ring performance of an 83. Raven with a 75, I should say. And that advanced the segment there. Gained some heat for that storyline. I believe this is going to be talking about the turns. Can we turn both of them? Should we turn them? You know, let's do it. Should we yet? Because no, we're actually gonna wait. We're gonna wait at least a week or something. So this was a hardcore match. Apparently, Kane says it doesn't suit him. I mean, he got an 83 for crying out loud. I don't know how that doesn't suit him. Anyway, 84 B+ rating to end off the show. The flock stand around as The Undertaker stands over his brother Kane. The dead man then looks at each member of the flock before nodding at him. Raven and Vampiro, and of course a cautious Boss Man and Perry Saturn, not Vampiro, begin to beat down on the devil's favorite demon before The Undertaker grabs Vampiro and whispers into his ear. Vampiro then slides out of the ring and pulls out the gasoline. Oh crap, that gasoline that Matt Hardy had from earlier the night. He pulls that out of the ring. oh, Jesus. The Undertaker, they begin to pour the gasoline all over to Kane. Undertaker is going to burn his brother once again. And they pour it all over Kane. Of course, road agents, paramedics all down here begging with the dead man, begging with the Undertaker. Of course, saying, please, don't do this. The Undertaker refusing to listen as he lights his brother on fire. Good God Almighty, the second time in his life, Kane is on fire. Kane is on fire. Referees, they try to put Kane out. Of course, the Undertaker and the Flock, they pose in the ring as they end off the show, leaving JR and King to wonder if a new deadly alliance has been formed here tonight. So Kane set on fire. A message sent to Vince McMahon, and a message directly sent to Kane here tonight. And it would appear that the Undertaker has now aligned himself with the Flock. Was this the higher power, the mastermind that Raven has been talking about for a while now? I don't know, boss man Saturn. I mean, I don't mean to reveal it to the world, but they may or may not be undercover police. You guys might want to get out of here while you have a chance. Either way, this is a scary sight. Undertaker came out looking excellent, gained heat for the storyline. We end off the show, and we get a solid 80B to end off the show here, and a note telling me that I use Gregory Helms far too much on the show. Funny how I use Gregory, but not like Shannon Moore enough. Whatever. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the show. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment. Don't forget to tell me what we should do with Stephanie. And here's another idea. If you guys have any clever names for the Flock and the Undertaker's new alliance, let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name has been OMG WTF LOF to WBRB. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, don't forget to share this video with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, your Instagrams. I don't give a dimmadams. Anybody you feel would enjoy my content, give them a share. Help your homeboy get some new subscribers up in this bitch. And I will see you guys later. Have a great one.